Sorry, Stephen. I feel like I should record some more for you because I went off on my own little yammer. Okay, a weighted decision matrix is the basis for deciding on anything. Is the numerical point system that is assigned to different criteria that is ranked by importance. That way everything has a value and every decision can be the best possible one. I mean, I feel like you should soften that a little bit. Everything has a value and every decision can be the best possible one. I mean, like, that's what it's attempting to do, but I wouldn't say that's like a guarantee that's going to happen, or everybody would do it all the time. This point value system is very effective and shows you the best possible answer for a problem based on certain characteristics and can be applied to anything, even deciding what to eat for lunch. That would help me. C figure 2. Okay, so when you do the C figure 2 thing, the C also goes in the parentheses. But I'm excited for C figure 2. It's fancy. This point value system is used worldwide, which tells me that it must be effective. Looking at 2 different forms, I noticed that all this is doing is quantifying a right answer, which brings me back to the efficiency, the main qualitative characteristic that engineers care about. Clearly, this tells us that engineers are analytical and are always looking for ways to improve. From this research I've collected, and I've concluded I want to become an engineer more than anything, I like always seeking out the correct answer. I enjoy designing. I love the feeling of success and accomplishment after I've put something together or fixed it. I love solving problems, and I love knowing that there's a correct answer or solution to every problem and that everything can be improved. Admirable. This assignment has strengthened my aspiration to become an engineer, and I had a great time talking with Dan about how KU helped him. Very nice work. With your works cited, you just need to add your personal interview. You can go to any of these places that talk about citations and just type in, like, how do you do personal interview? And it's basically like personal interview and then the name of the person you interviewed. It's easy. So you just need to add that. And the last thing I would tell you is that from my perspective, God, also I have a cousin who's an engineer. Both sides of my family. I feel like what can be really useful for engineers, people who think like engineers in writing, number one, definitely outlining like crazy. Because for me, being a person who just like really thinks in words and like, you know, I'm just a very verbal person, I can just easily jump in and just like, blah, 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 you know, write a bunch of crap down and then figure it out later. But for people who generally don't think in words, that's not their most natural way to think. Outlines are super helpful so that, I mean, they can be helpful for anyone, but particularly for people who don't feel like their writing is super natural to them, to have an outline that you follow separates the process of coming up with ideas and expressing those ideas, which can be extremely helpful for any writer, right? It's very difficult work to both be thinking, what do I want to say, and how am I going to say it? So when you can separate those, that's great. The other thing that I would suggest is just the value of storytelling in any job. Even if you're an engineer, some of your job will probably involve, you know, going to a meeting and somebody being like, why did you do this? And you having to explain, like, this happened, that happened, this happened. So to me, that's one of the values that people in engineering and fields like that can get out of writing practice, is that no matter how technical your job is, the storytelling and the ability to kind of explain how it happened. And when talking to other humans, that almost always means, even in engineering, it almost always means telling a story about why we did this, how this happened, and also just putting it in words that are as clear as possible to get your point across, of course. Okay, I'll stop talking now. Thank you for your paper. It was cool.